Fuck the rhythm under your bosom.
I don't want to move too fast. I can't resist you. Sexy ass just spread for me.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
this is Miriam.
Hey. Hi, Miriam. How are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Yeah.
So, well, honestly, it was a bit hard for me to prepare a really, really good interview because I'm at home with my kids. Like, I've been at home with them the last week, but I tried to, just to talk a bit about, first the situation and then about your music, just as well as it goes, if that's okay.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
There were worse things I could do than go with a boy or two.
Well, but yeah, let's talk about your album still. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a great album and I loved it very much. And I just wanted to ask you about the cover thing. What for you personally makes a song worth covering?
Well, I guess there's so many good songs out there, and there's like a lot of songs that I love intensely, but not all of them I'm gonna want to try to cover. I don't want to cover a song if I don't feel like I have something to offer. For instance, I tried covering Sweet Love, which is one of my favorite songs in the entire world by Anita Baker. And I got a little bit into it and I thought, I can't do this, actually. I don't have, at least right now, I don't have a good enough reinterpretation of this song. I'm just sort of, making it. I just want to sing exactly like Anita Baker sang it. So like, there's no point.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not making a wedding band version of it.
Yeah.
So I threw that one out, for instance. So it has to be obviously a song I really like, but then also a song I feel I can bring some sort of different focus or change it enough to make it, to bring some other element out of it.
Yeah, it almost seems like you have like deconstructed the songs, before you. I don't know if that's the process, but it sounds like it. And then you just started to do your own thing with it, and I thought that's really, really, really cool.
Thank you. Yeah, that is definitely. I do want to deconstruct them, and and change them enough so that they're worth so that they're worth covering, so that people have something else to hear besides someone just trying to redo the song as it is.
But it's still, I mean, the question is still, why did you still cover songs? I mean, you could have just as well just done your own songs, or is that a difference?
Yeah. I mean, I really enjoy covering songs by other people. It's very freeing to me because the song already exists. The words are written, the chords are there. So it's like taking an article of clothing and removing all the seams and sewing it back together with a different shape.
Yeah.
So there's already parameters. It's like sometimes I get very overwhelmed when I'm working. There's so many options. There's so many plugins. There's so many effects to put on this. There's like so many options. Having less options is such a joy sometimes,
Yeah.
So the song's already there. It's already made whatever impact in the world it has. And so I don't have to be, waiting for the right lyrics to come. They're already there.
Yeah.
And in times, in some of the songs I've added or changed words, but still the original words are already there for me to work with to start with. So, yeah.
Well, it's kind of interesting that you say that, because I was just thinking of like the situation we are in now. The less options you have, the more you find like other things, or you have more possibilities to do your own things. Is that kind of comparable when you say that there is something else coming out of you now when you already have the words and everything?
Yeah, I absolutely think that's true. I mean, like you said, in general, the options that we have are so overwhelming. And in life, even when libraries started getting put together, you go into a library and there are this many books to choose from.
Yeah.
And now we don't even have to leave our houses.
Yeah.
We just choose from a book, on our computer sitting in front of us.
Yeah.
So things have gotten so overwhelming. Like, I will never forget when music started to be digitized and it was all being available online. It was so overwhelming. It still is so overwhelming.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yes. So, yes, it's the same. Yes.
Yeah, that's a nice approach. Maybe it changed a little bit like right now after we all have that feeling, but I think that's a good way to explain maybe the joy of covering.
Yeah.
And how long did you have to put them together to choose the ones that you put on the album? What was the criteria there?
Well, I released I released a covers record previously in 2009. So since then, I have covered a lot of songs live, and have been making a list of other songs that I haven't covered yet, just to think about for this record. So in many ways, I've been working on this record for 11 years.
Yeah.
Because some of the songs that I would do, that I would cover throughout these years, I would record. So, and not all of them made it on the record, but many of them. So anyway, it was sort of as I got closer to planning this album and what I was going to do with it, there were a lot of songs that I wanted to try to cover. So I started, recording those, a couple of years ago. Because last year I did so much touring that there wasn't a lot of time.
Yeah.
For working. So so I've been working on the decisions around what I'm gonna choose, and the personnel on the songs, and how I'm gonna record, for quite a while now.
Yeah. And what just came to my mind is like compared to your songs, when you played the covers live, how is that different? How do you feel something in the audience that's different when you cover a song they already know in a way? Or
it depends. I've been playing the song "Kiss" by Prince. I've been playing that live for a little bit now.
Have to be beautiful.
When people realize, sometimes it takes a second. When people realize it's a song they already know,
Just
you do feel a sort of excitement from the crowd. The funny thing about that song is that I changed a lot of the rhythms in the vocal. So often people are trying to sing along, but they're singing along the song that they know.
Just leave it all now.
So that's just always an interesting.
Well, it honestly, it took me a little bit to realize what song it was at first, because I know the lyrics, I know that song, but I just didn't really recognize it at first, which is really cool. How much of you is in those songs, and how much you like consciously put in your songs of you, your side. How is that not visible but feelable? No, is that a word? I don't even know. How much of you is it?
Yeah, if there isn't enough of me in the song, I'm not gonna, it's not gonna be worth doing. So, I take all the experience I have creating my own songs and put it into reworking old songs. So it's all of me in there. Absolutely.
Do you have one song that you have a special connection with, or an experience or something? One of the songs that are on the album now?
I feel like I have a special connection with all of them. I can't lie.
Mm-hmm.
They're really special to me. Let's see. I know you want me to answer that in a different way. So let me look over here. The song "Out of Time" that's out right now.
Mm-hmm.
That song's really.
That's a Blur song, isn't it?
Yeah. Very. Mm-hmm. I think it's just incredibly special song, and the lyrics are so potent and and beautiful. I also, I'm just going to talk about the songs that are out right now.
Yeah.
The song that I took from the Grease soundtrack, which is a song that had been written before that film came out, that was used in the film. Mm-hmm. So that song was sung in the film by Stockard Channing. She sings it amazingly. Yeah. And I remember seeing that film as a very young girl, and crying so much when she sang that song. Mm-hmm. And pretty much every time since I've seen that film, that's where I cry. Yeah. So that's why I chose that song. People were like, "Are you crazy? Why are you doing that?" Well, because it hits me in a very specific, deep way that I could not have understood as a young girl. Something about it was already there. Yeah. And then the song "Spread" by Outkast. That song is just. You want to get amped up. You put that song on. You put Outkast on in general, but you put that song on, and that song is just undeniably better. Move too fast, but can't resist your sexy. Just spread for me. So I started playing violin when I was 8, and just through the school. And then my teachers said, she has talent. Yeah. So I took it further from there, and then I went to university for classical music. And then I didn't play guitar or keys, which are the instruments that I play now live. I didn't play either one of those until my 20s. Oh, really? Yeah. So, you can do whatever you want. You know, you can, like, music is so malleable, flexible.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to have the will.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And the
it
interest.
sounds so
Yeah.
inspiring, but I know how hard it is in the end. You know, just not only for myself, but I mean, I'm not really. I used to play piano, but I stopped in a way. I'm not really the music maker, but sometimes, you know, writing something. My problem is that I always already have a reader in mind, and that blocks me in a way
Yeah.
to
Yep.
just try it out, you know, because I think, well, yeah, no one can read that. Then I stop, which is probably the wrong way. Yeah.
So why do you think no one could read that?
Well, I don't know, because I think that I read so much,
Yeah.
and I already have like the outside, you know, mind in mind. I already read it like as if someone else would read it, and then I think, no, but it's not, you know, that's not something anyone wants to read, and then I stop.
Right. That sounds to me like an internal critic.
Yeah.
I mean, you're saying that it's the outside, but really nobody knows. Nobody
Yeah.
knows what your words, what my music, how they're going to be interpreted by the outside world. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we all have, I think it's everybody that makes anything has that internal critic
Mm-hmm.
that invariably holds us back. I know I do. I have that same exact thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not good enough. You know, that just sounds like I'm trying to be
Yeah.
Keith Jarrett. You know, this
Yeah.
sounds like, you know, but not as good. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
And I know. I mean, I think everybody knows, but that's your mind.
Yeah.
That's not anybody else's mind. So maybe if you can switch the idea of it being already thinking about other people reading it, that actually it's you thinking about you reading it.
Yeah.
And you gotta get rid of that, because you don't know what anybody else is gonna think.
Well, I just realized how brave it is to give something out anyway. I mean,
Yes.
I really, really is brave. But what are, you know, like maybe the best or the coolest reactions you have ever gotten on your music, and what's worth doing it for you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, absolutely. So much of it, so much of the joy of music is hearing from other people that it moves them in some way. That's absolutely true. I mean, often I get stories from people like, this song, wow, I went through the same exact thing, and then the person will relay the situation they went through that they feel is in the song, and it has no relation to what I was originally writing about.
Yeah.
But that's what's great about music, is that you make it your own.
Mm-hmm.
You use it for how it works best for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's my favorite thing. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's so cool.
Baby, yesterday's favorite. Don't you hate it? Life's what you make it.
Well,
Okay.
yeah,
Very
thank you.
good.
Thank you very much. And yeah, we will just put that on the blog when the album comes out, so we can do at least something.
Wonderful.
And then